Hello everyone and welcome to a realistic reading week. So I have a problem and I'm trying to dial it back. I have been quite busy these past couple of weeks with school, so I thought it'd be fun to highlight how much reading I get done, and we'll keep track of how many pages I've read each day. It's kind of difficult to get a bunch of reading time in with school and work, but I'm trying my best, and I thought if you're going through the same thing, you'd like to see how someone else is reading. Also, this is a little less realistic this week because I have in fact discovered Gossip Girl. Not that I discovered it, but I decided to start watching it for the first time because I'm crocheting a blanket and I'm obsessed, and I've been watching that instead of reading. I've slowed down on watching it, but in the past 2 days I have watched the first full season and half of the second season. So I have a problem and I'm trying to dial it back. I just love the drama. It is so good. We're starting the week off in the middle of A Dance of Lies. I started this at the end of last week, so we're going into this video in the middle of this one, and we're following Vasily, who is a dancer. She goes through all this stuff and she eventually becomes the king's jewel in the country that she lives in. It is split into 3 territories between 3 brothers, so there's 3 kings, and her king, not a very good man, and he ends up framing her for murder, and she spends 2 years in jail, and through that she develops some chronic conditions. And then the king wants to use her dancing ability to get secrets at this thing called a gathering, which is where all of the high people in the world come together, and the dancers are like the entertainment. So he's like, I'm taking you out of jail, you're gonna do this for me, and you're gonna do these things that I tell you to do, and you're gonna listen to me, and you need to dance. But she can barely dance, so she comes up with some fun stuff, whatever. That's the basic gist. So Vasily is basically in a very terrible situation where she has to do what he's saying, but he's asking her to do some pretty terrible things, and she meets new people and she's like, I can't do these things to these people, I feel terrible, and she's trying to figure out the real truth of things going on. She also has a hidden past. So far I am thoroughly enjoying it. I am kind of out of touch with it. I feel like it's a little bit slow, just because maybe I wasn't completely in the mood for fantasy when I started it, but I'm interested to see how this is going to continue going because there's a lot of stuff to be wrapped up, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be duology, so there is just a lot that's going to happen. Hi guys, happy Thursday. So Monday and Tuesday I barely read anything, and yesterday I ended up finishing A Dance of Lies. This was so good. The ending really saved it for me. I was probably sitting at a 3-star, and then the last 80 pages was boom 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 boom, just the plot falling into place and everyone's schemes being revealed, and it was crazy. There's so much scheming in this book. Everyone is plotting against everyone else, and you don't know who's working for who and who's been paid off. It's insane, and I cannot believe the end of this book. Absolutely insane. We'll definitely be picking up the next one. So this is a 4-star. I don't remember if I just said that or not, but the middle is definitely a little slow for me. I don't know, and I'm usually not someone who finds books slow, but that might just be because it took me a little bit to read it. I just didn't feel like picking it up because some parts I was just okay, I need more to be happening, because there's a lot of stakes, and there wasn't enough happening to keep me interested in the high stakes. But then the end was crazy. You find out so much, but there's still so much left that you don't know, because you don't know what is gonna happen. Also, a lot of the men in this book are disgusting, so gross. I know some people really adored this, and I think maybe I would have liked it a little bit better if I wasn't reading it as slow as I did. So that leaves us to pick our next book, and I think I'm gonna do 5 Tuesdays in Winter by Lily King. I was ordering Heart the Lover, and then this popped up and I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting, because I love a collection of stories. It's a series of 10 different stories following a bunch of different people, heartbreaking, filled with love, that whole sort of vibe. So I'm interested to get into this. The words on the pages are huge, and I feel like I just need a super quick book to be okay, I'm done. So whenever I decide to pick this up today, I will talk to you guys. Welcome to Friday. I actually did not read anything yesterday. I had to edit a video and study, and I just never got around to starting this book, so we are gonna start it today before I have to go to work later. I have to get ready for work in like an hour and a half, so in that time we're gonna get a little bit of reading done. I'm very intrigued to start this because I genuinely don't know what it's about. I guess I don't know what each short story is about, but I think it'll be fun. Yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. Hi everyone, happy Friday. I ended up not reading anything yesterday, but I have actually started reading today. I got caught up in brain rotting, which is so terrible because usually I read more, and this is supposed to be a realistic reading week, and usually I read more, but it's okay. I finished the first short story and I'm now into the second one. We're on page 60. And I liked the first short story. I've honestly never read a collection of short stories before, so I don't really know like what to expect, and like if this could be like a high rated book for me. I don't know, but I liked the first one. I'm liking the second one better already. The first one was kind of like it was just like icky, but it was meant to be that way. I think the second one is about a bookseller, so I think that's might be why I like it a little bit more. It's 12:30 and I have to go to work at 3, so we have some time to keep reading, and I'm hoping to get like halfway. I'll read like this short story and maybe like one more for today. We have read 60 pages so far today, so solid, better than most of the days this week. So you're probably wondering what happened on Sunday, and I did not in fact read anything, which was a very obscure week for me. I feel like I'm usually very good about reading every day. This is a realistic reading week, but not really. I feel like stress and procrastination kind of really caught up to me this week, and I wasn't able to get into the things that I was reading, which is unfortunate. But we're gonna do a little recap of the week, and I'm talking to you guys a few days later because it felt weird to end off a video without giving like my full opinion on a book, and I finished 5 Tuesdays in Winter, so I thought we could just have a nice little end chat. To recap, on Monday we read 22 pages, Tuesday nothing, Wednesday we read 124 pages, Thursday nothing, Friday nothing, Saturday we read 96 pages, and then Sunday nothing. So then that brings us to a total of 242 pages for the week, which honestly is so bizarre to me because I will literally read more than that in a day, even when I'm busy, but that's okay. I honestly can't believe how little that number is, but again, it's okay. Also tonight I have finished 5 Tuesdays in Winter, and I just wanted to chat about it a little bit because I feel like I didn't say too much about it because I hadn't read much of it with you guys. Basically, this is 10 short stories. The longest one is like 60 pages, and I gave this 3 stars. Maybe this sort of style isn't for me. I'm not sure. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the stories as I was reading them, but I need more than that from a story so I can feel attached to the characters, and you don't get attached to characters, and some of them were like 30 pages. That's just not for me. I know that's not the point of this, but for me, that's the point. So I just don't think this was for me. I would definitely recommend it and give it a try. You could read a short story like every day, and for 10 days, like, oh, I read every day. That would be a cool thing to do. I should have done that. The way that Lily King writes is a way that makes you want to keep reading, but I just didn't find this to be like my favorite thing, but that's okay. I definitely want to read more from her. I still want to read Heart the Lover because I read Writers and Lovers and I really enjoyed that. I would just recommend it. I just don't think it was my favorite thing. I don't know what I was expecting, but I've never read a collection of short stories before. The idea of it just sounded good, but a lot of the stories were quite sad. I just don't think it was what I was expecting, and that's okay, because you could give it a go and you might absolutely adore it, which is the whole point of reading. Anyways, with the week being over, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!